Hi all, David Picks here, and today's video I'm going to rank my 10 favourite Disney movies growing up when I was a kid. We watched a lot of Disney movies in the 90s when I was younger. We didn't own DVDs or platforms or YouTube. We had all our Disney movies on VHS tapes, and I still got some of them today. So I'll go through each one of my top 10 favourite movies. Just be mindful, they're mainly animations. Actually, they're all animations. No live actions, no Pixar, and there'll be no Disney movies featuring after 2000 and maybe 1, 2 or 3. So we're mainly when I was a kid, which was the 90s. I did go to Disney World in Orlando in 1997, so that was 30 years ago we went as a family. I still remember that day. That was a great trip. If you haven't ever been to Disney World or Disneyland in any of the countries, I suggest you check them out. All right, let's go through the movies. Number 10, we've got Dumbo. Dumbo is an elephant orphan that was born with really big ears. Of course, people laughed at him, mocked him because he was different. He was able to then find out that with these huge ears, he had the ability that he could actually fly, which made him a big attraction in the circus. So that's Dumbo at number 10. Number 9 is Basil, the Great Mouse Detective. I watched this movie a lot when I was younger. Just be mindful, like I said, we didn't have DVDs, platforms, YouTube back when I was a kid. So you just had to re-watch the VHSs that you owned. And Basil, the Great Mouse Detective was one of them. It basically features a mouse named Basil who's got that Sherlock Holmes character. So watch it. It's a bit of a mystery movie. Have a watch of it if you haven't. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. All right, the next one on my list is The Little Mermaid. What a classic. If you have not seen The Little Mermaid, you're not from this world. Everyone has seen The Little Mermaid. Great soundtrack. Of course, The Little Mermaid's about this mermaid princess who dreams of living in the outside world above the sea. She ends up getting tricked, let's just say, in making a wish to sell her voice for some feet and then experiencing what the world is like above the sea. All right, the next one on my list is Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is such a great storyline, this movie. The soundtrack, the concept of the movie, basically it's about a young girl gets lost one day, ends up in this haunted mansion where there's no one that lives in this mansion. There's a lot of furniture that come to life, but there's also a beast that lives there who's actually a prince, and he was turned into a beast. And the concept is that if the beast finds love before his 21st birthday, I believe it is, then he no longer becomes a beast and transforms back into a human. So it's a bit of a love movie-ish in relation to that. All right, the next one is, where is my list? Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is such a strange movie. You actually understand this movie and the plot of this movie and what the actual director or storyline is when you're older. Basically, it's about a young girl who falls down a rabbit hole after chasing a rabbit and ends up in this mysterious world, and she has to somehow find her way out of this mysterious world. Alice in Wonderland. Next one is Hercules. Hercules is based on the actual Greek mythology character Hercules, in which, we have this young boy. He wants to find who he is, what his purpose is in life. And then he later finds a trainer that trains him up. We see him briefly go through all the tasks or labors of Hercules. He's got an evil uncle that wants to kill him. Blah, blah, blah. Needs to save the world. Hercules. All right, next one is The Jungle Book. So The Jungle Book is basically a young boy who grew up in the jungle, surrounded by animals. And these animals basically know that he doesn't fit in their world. He doesn't fit in this world. He's a human and he belongs with the humans. So these animals are trying to get him back to human civilization where he belongs. Of course, he doesn't really want to go back to human civilization because all he's known is to live in the jungle. And he sees himself as one of the animals in the jungle. So let's see what happens with him at the end, but basically he returns back to civilization. All right, next one we have is Pinocchio. Pinocchio. So Pinocchio is about a carpenter who makes a wooden boy puppet. He wishes upon a star that this wooden boy comes to life, which it does. Of course, Pinocchio on his first day of school gets lost, tricked, ends up with some bad company, and the objective of this storyline is that Pinocchio wants to somehow find his way back home. He also wants to be a real boy. So he's actually a wooden puppet that comes to life, and through the storyline, he wants to actually achieve the normality, as it is, of what it is to be a real boy. All right, we're almost at the end. Number 9 is Aladdin. Aladdin is a great movie. Great movie. Probably one of the most watched movies of the Disney animations that I've seen. Great storyline. The soundtrack is fantastic. Every song on the Aladdin movie soundtrack is a classic. Robin Williams does the voice of the genie. Basically, this boy finds a lamp. With this lamp, a genie comes out and he's able to make 3 wishes. One wish is that he wishes that he becomes a prince of some Arabian city. 2, that he wants to fall in love with the princess, but of course love is forbidden. And 3 is that he sets, I better not say what the 3rd mission is, because that kind of, well, not mission, the wish, because that kind of spoils the movie. Anyway, he's got 3 wishes. Watch the movie. And my final movie is The Lion King. I remember going to watch this movie at the cinema for the first time. It was, mid-90s, so I was probably, 10 years old at the time. I remember a lot of the school class went to see it. It was like the movie to go see. I remember going to cinemas and seeing fellow peers in the cinema. I'm like, oh, what are you doing here? Watching The Lion King. Fantastic movie. It's about a lion cub who, how do I explain the movie without destroying it? But basically, it's a lion cub who's seeking to be king of the jungle. Long story short. Everyone's seen this movie, but great soundtrack, fantastic animation. Elton John provides some scores on this movie. Excellent movie. My number 1 movie of the Disney animation era, from Walt Disney's first ever movie of Snow White to the movies that we have now. Almost 100 years. We're almost hitting 100 years since Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first Disney animation, came out. So great movie list. They're my top 10 Disney movies. Sorry I'm a bit all over the place with it. It's quite late. But comment, subscribe, like what your favourite Disney movies were, and I'll see you all in my next video.